It's our first game together. We're a fast team and it's going to be tough to play against us.
Excited?
Yeah, really.
Maxime Comtois, forward.
There's a backhand shot, Canada's right back, and it's 1-1. Comtois centers that, and Tippett shoots, score!
What caught my eye here is watch Comtois come off the bench. He just separates him from the puck.
Throws it back, Comtois shoots, score! And Comtois got 3 points here in the first period. Comtois looks at the empty net and gets it! 2 for Comtois, a 4-point game. Canada opens the Pre-Tournament with a 5-3 win.
Going to get better in the next game where we're going to apply what we didn't do today.
Victoria, BC, home of Group B action at the World Juniors starting on Boxing Day, but tonight home to Canada and Slovakia pre-tournament action. Cody Glass and his line made spectacular in Game 1 against Switzerland. 4 of the 5 Canada goals. Owen Tippett got one of those. Max Comtois on the other wing was just sensational. Tonight, Ian Scott gets his first start, having just a terrific season in Prince Albert. At the other end, Samuel Halave will go for Slovakia and likely to be a very busy man in the Slovak net. As we say hello, Canada, and welcome to Canada's second tune-up game at the World Juniors. James Duffy and Bob McKenzie. We learned a few things about the team in that Game 1 win over Switzerland. That line of Comtois, Cody Glass, and Owen Tippett, they're really good. Switzerland had no answer for them whatsoever. But we also learned that Canada has a few things to shore up defensively and to figure out who the starter in goal will be on Boxing Day. Ian Scott gets the start tonight with more on that. Gordon Miller and Ray Ferraro. Gentlemen?
Thank you, James. This time last year, Ian Scott was kind of a nondescript goaltender playing on a very average junior team. And then last spring, everything changed.
Yeah, you got the opportunity to go to the Toronto Marlies of the American Hockey League as a Leaf draft choice. They brought him in as the third goaltender, and he was there for 2.5 months. He worked with the goaltender coach, Piero Greco, who's now the goalie coach with the New York Islanders. He got to work out. He got to practice with professional players. He even got to play in the last game of the regular season. When he went back to Prince Albert, they said they got a completely different goaltender. Calm, he has a real stable demeanor. He gives confidence to his team by the way that he plays. He's lost 2 games this year. He's got a .943 save percentage. So the door is open after DiPietro didn't have a great night in the opener. Now it's Scott's turn to stake his claim to the #1 job.
And if the power play is strong, you can put him on that. He scored a goal for Prince Albert this year as well. James?
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Here's the lineup for Team Canada. Again, the only player missing, just like the first game, is Brett Leeson, who also plays for Prince Albert. That hand injury in the training camp games, and he's hopeful to play in the last pre-tournament game against Finland. As you look at that, we know the Comtois, Cody Glass, Tippett line was sensational. Who are you looking at tonight?
Well, I thought the next best line the last game was Morgan Frost, Barrett Hayton, and Jack Studnicka. Studnicka had the 5th goal that wasn't scored by that top line. Studnicka was arguably the best player for Team Canada in the evaluation camp last week. Boston Bruin prospect, plays for the Oshawa Generals, and really good offensively, but really good defensively. And the same can be said of Barrett Hayton, the first-round pick of the Arizona Coyotes, who plays for the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. Frost is more of an offensive guy than a defensive guy, but that line together has a lot of elements that Team Canada's really going to like.
For what it's worth, it's not worth a ton in pre-tournament games. Canada 12-0-1 all-time against Slovakia in games that actually matter at this tournament. Slovaks had 1-0-0 tie way back in 1999. Drop of the puck next. Here are your starting goaltenders. As mentioned, Scott's been terrific. .943 save percentage for Prince Albert. Halave played 1 game for Slovakia at the World U18s last year. Gordon Ray with the call.
Thank you, James. Good evening and welcome to Victoria, the second of 3 pre-tournament games for Team Canada. This venue will be the site of Group B action when the World Junior Championship begins. And tonight it's Canada against Slovakia. It's Slovakia's last tune-up game prior to the start of the World Junior Championship. Mark Pierce and Ryan Benbow are tonight's referees. There's been a lot of talk in the last few days about the IHF's rule change that we'll see during the tournament, which is late hits, so any contact after the puck has been delivered might result in a penalty, so we'll keep an eye on that this evening. And the goaltenders, as James Duthie mentioned, Samuel Halave is a 17-year-old eligible for the 2019 draft. Plays for the Slovak Team Orange program. Most of these players play for their junior program that plays against teams in the Slovak top men's league and their second league. In the meantime, it's Ian Scott, the 19-year-old from Calgary, a Toronto fourth-round pick in 2017. What a month he's having. Signed with Toronto, makes the national junior team. And there is Ernst Bokros in his 8th straight year as the coach of the Slovak national junior program, guided them to a bronze medal in Toronto in 2015. And Tim Hunter, last 2 years an assistant coach for Team Canada, the head man, 5th year as the head coach of the Moose Jaw Warriors of the Western Hockey League. Canada beat the Slovaks 6-0 in the round robin last year in Buffalo. The Slovaks, though, remember Ray, in the quarters gave the Swedes all they could handle in a nail-biting 3-2 decision for Sweden.